All right, hey folks, let's see if I am up and running. Give me a second here to check all my things, and it looks like it is just now going live. That's fantastic. So we can hear clearly there. Excellent. I'm going to drop that down so the sound doesn't get in the way. Let me grab the link here so I can do the social boost. And while I do that, let me say, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online. And we are in the process of creating the first adventure that I've published for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, as well as for the Eberron setting. It's called Crystals of Mabar. You can see the book over here right on screen. And it's for 7th and 8th level characters. It's basically an undead fight romp with against the Emerald Claw in the Carnwood of Carnath on the continent of Corvair on Eberron. Blech. So there's that. We're making artwork for it. The book is really close to done. I think we're going to have a get together with the editor and co-writer Stuart and Andy later today. Like, subscribe, bell icon, notifications. Hello, I got a bunch of books that are on DMsGuild already, by the way, down here. You can click through to any of these links to check out the work that I've done. If you want me to make more stuff like this in the future, the best way to encourage me is to buy some of the stuff that I have out right now. You always get a free preview so you know what you're looking at. But right now, let's just keep diving into artwork. So, let's see. I have that. I am currently making water line. These are little standalone puddles that we're currently working on the embankment for these little pools. So that's what we're going to do here now. We'll be doing this for a bit today. We're going to finish these embankments, and then we're going to fill in we're going to fill it in with water, and then we're going to muck up the water. So here we are so far. So once I finish the puddles up here, we can take the language that we're establishing here with the water and the sunken area here to imbue to here, and then fill in this color content here. And then we'll be able to work on the soil and little colonies of vegetation and stuff that are populating the area around here. So I don't know if we'll have it done this week. I certainly hope we do. This is for some additional, optional encounters. In the third act, you're in an underground dungeon with finite space. So the optional encounters is just a variant of what creatures you encounter at what location inside of the dungeon. But with external optional encounters, you have to create new maps altogether because it's outside and there's infinite running room outside. So you have to build a separate map to frame the events of the optional encounter. Since it's not a required encounter, it doesn't necessarily lead into additional plot points. But since it is optional, it needs to have its own place where it takes, where the encounter occurs. So that is what we are working on. Just like that. Still got the cough going on. 2 weeks ago, we got hit with pneumonia in the household, and that stuff just takes forever to work its way out of the lungs. So we be coming along. All right, that feels pretty good. Let's do that. Oops, my system just locked up, so I'm gonna hit save real quick. Close out the program, and we open it. Tastes good when you're thirsty. So run this line here like this. And only blend it on in. There we go. All the significant maps are completed. There's 3 maps that are no, God, what? 4? 3? 4? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 significant maps. There's the village map, which is I think a 60 by 60 square space. There is the basically the size of an American football field. There's the cemetery, which is a 50 by 50 square map. There is the flooded fortress, which I think is like 30 by 45. The top side, the top side gatehouse, which is like 30 by 30, and then the underground facility, which is 74 by 74 squares. Those are the five significant maps that are in this adventure, which are included with it. You know, as a downloadable content for you to run the game. Black and white for easy printing, and color for VTT. So, but we have all these little additional vignette encounters as well. Like I need to do a couple forest maps. I need to finish this one. Once I have this one finished, we have 2 more of these manifest zone maps to do. This is the sinkhole map. We have a decaying gazebo, and then the tree of woe. It's the tree should be pretty easy to make. It's just a terrain map with a tree on it. The gazebo will be a little more challenging. So the text should be finished before the cartography is done. We can start doing official layouts on things while we finish up these maps in the mornings. So we'll be moving into another phase here probably next month. I know I wanted to be done with all the text in June, but July's okay. Okay, let's go back to the cemetery for our color reference. This is one of those big color maps I was talking about. grab that color. And then this should just be black. Very good. And now let's image, no. Select. Modify. Expand. Yeah, 1 pixel should be fine. Huh, I guess so. Okay. Let me look at that line language again. Okay. We'll do like that. Actually, just paint over here, 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 here. And here, that should be good. was like this for a while. So I stream in the mornings like this, like for about an hour. I've got about another 40 minutes left today, so we can keep working this stuff here on Monday nights, including tonight, as well on Thursdays. I stream in the evenings in about 12 hours actually. I'll be back on, and we'll be creating ship deck plans for Spelljammer. And at lunchtime on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, including this week, we're on doing different game mechanics, mechanic design for new supplements. Tuesday and Friday we work on martial powers, which is the alternate magic system for martial characters to do things like maneuvers, etc., with the same sort of variety and resource supply as casters have, basically as as half casters. And second here while I wiggle this around. And what are we doing on Wednesdays? Oh, that's right. Spelljammer subclass design is what we do on Wednesday. We're creating a subclass for all 13. We're making archetypes for all 13 classes that utilize the new character options and mechanics in the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration book that we published. So we're making additional maps as well as additional mechanical supplements for characters and equipment in the Spelljammer book that I built. I am looking forward to working on that some more. That'll be on Wednesday. And then I'm hoping next week or so we'll be able to get another playtest up and running for the martial power system at 5th and 6th level. And then look to see if we need to refine the powers any further from there. We've already revised all the 209 powers that we had, and we've whittled them down to 165 after the first playtest at level 3 and 4. And so at level 5 and 6, we'll have the opportunity to see how well the revisions take hold, and how well the characters are able to punch out added value at the higher level with more resources available. Now the open playtest. Yeah, I always prefer to give seats to paying Patreons as a perk, but if the seats aren't filled, then I'll put it out to my Discord channel, and if the seats aren't filled at my Discord channel, I will start requesting I'll put out an open call on other Discords, Facebook, Reddit, etc. And so we're in the process of revising the classes and subclasses for the martial power system. So that will probably take a couple weeks. So I wanted to have another playtest, but the feedback that we got from the third and fourth playtest was pretty evident that we needed to revise and refine the different powers that we were already offering, and going through a complete rebuild seemed to make sense before continuing playtesting. It was 5 weeks of playtesting at level 3 and 4, so it was a lot of the powers just weren't doing enough to make them feel like they were a good prep option, and as other things like the fear of missing out kept propping up for some of the players because of just the amount of stuff that you could do, but you could only, like, the things that you could choose to prepare, but if you didn't prepare it, then it's like, oh crap, if I had this other thing that would have been useful. So making each power feel like they're strong choices so that you don't feel regret, by making them stronger and a little more utilitarian, and rebalancing them appropriate for each of the levels that they're at. That should prove really productive. But now, since there's a bunch of bonus powers that you get with each subclass and backgrounds, we need to update the bonus power list to make sure that they're getting powers that still exist at all. So we trimmed out 50 of them. So there's going to be powers out there that are no longer available. So we're going to have to go through that full process. And we made some mechanical changes to how sustained powers work. So we're going to have to go through and make sure all the subclasses and class features jive with the revisions to the mechanics. It's a lot of work, but God, it's totally worth it. It is the slowest cooking 5e character option supplement that I've built to date. And I know that when 2024 drops, I may well have to revise stuff again. But I should at least have a functioning document for the 5e we know. So I can offer both versions, the original 5e plus the 2024 revisions. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's feeling pretty good. Let's just go ahead and leave that there. Let's make a new one over here. Burp, burp. The trick is to, where it's, I think these are convex. No, these are convex. These convex points in the puddle, like these sunken areas, these concave areas here is where water would drain in. That's why we're having this blue be the point, like where all the concave lines are at here. We have the blue, and then the gaps in between is where we have the black. So I'm trying to have a look where both of them are kind of flowing together. pretty good. Like that. Beep, beep, beep. Nice. It's the rainy season during the adventure. So there's in the soil is all being converted to this necrotic soil. Like I described it as coffee grinds. So the rain flowing through this mucky black silt sort of textured soil in the manifest zone, it creates this like coffee-like slurry substance, which is why I'm striving to have both this organic shape for the blue of the water and the black of the coffee, as it were. hair feels dirty. Need to wash it. Do that. I'm trying to move the momentum towards this larger area here. Like this is shallow, pushing towards this mass here. Like this is a relatively small space. It's all just going to kind of pour in and swirl together, which is where I'm trying to create this little conflict here. But all of this, again, it's just going to flow into this area, and this is where it can start conflicting and spooling against itself. But we got to get stuff there first. So that's where this is coming from. That's the flow that we're looking for here. This is flowing a lot faster than the all the graveyard puddles had. I was still trying to figure out what the language is when I was making the puddles, when I was making the graveyard. But now that I have all that map resolved and I know how to produce these effects, this is moving much more efficiently for me today. So I'm really pleased about that. There, that's a pretty good line. I like how that looks. Thank you. I still have 20 minutes left this morning. This is coming along really, really nicely. Not sure if I'll have this specific puddle finished today, but between this and this, I'll certainly be able to have by tomorrow. These puddles should be done, and we'll be able to get back to the rest of the terrain. This is great news. I actually want to do a slew of these puddles, various shapes and sizes, so I can fill in it basically like fill an entire page with them. So you can just spontaneously create little terrain sets, like with little flood zones and razor wire and Vulpinolitharia colonies to create obstacles and environmental hazards inside of this necrotic swamp sort of environment. And any one of these flooded areas can have undead basically lurking underneath, not having any reason to rise from its spot until it senses living flesh. And then the undead can rise from these puddles or from these pools. And attack those that would draw too near. Those that would draw too near. I'm gonna let this snub out. Feels really good. We gotta deal with this one here though. This one's looking pretty ragged. We can beauty this one up. Yeah, that feels pretty good. feels good. And now we can curve this around like that. Here. Love doing these maps. They're so fun. I'm going to drop the grid. Don't need it right now. Nice. That should do good. Yeah, that feels really nice. Still got 10 minutes. We're doing good. that feels good. All right, cool. Let's go over here and work on this one now. Something like that. So far that feels pretty good. Something like that. Oh, I like that. Looks really, really good. There we go. It's looking really good. And we'll bring this in here like that. Oh god, that's looking so good. I love it. I've always loved the lava lamp sort of bubble feeling that this type of water texture has. But yeah, I only got 20 seconds left. I'm not finishing today, but I can certainly hit save. All right, so that's it for now. Making progress here. So we got this one looking pretty good. This one we'll be able to finish up these marks tomorrow here, and then we'll take care of the. My computer is locked up, so we'll take care of the puddle over there. I'm going to be back on tonight to do some Spelljammer cartography in about 11 and a half hours. If you think this stuff is cool, check out the books that I have linked down below. They're all down here, and if you think they're cool, check them out. Buying books is the best way to encourage me to make more books. So check out the free previews. If it's something that you give a 4.5 or 5-star rating on, pick it up. Give me a rating for support, and check me out on Patreon and Discord and Twitter, X platform, Phil Kearney. I will see you all later on today. Thanks a lot.